John, how are you this week?
Hey, Elliot, how you doing?
I'm a little under the weather, but I'll be fine. So this week, I saw that the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, which is an international organization, deals with a lot of different things, including trying to combat corruption related to public officials in international business transactions. They have been, since 1999 or so, they have been having countries implement a process by which the countries adhere to a set of guidelines in terms of their own enforcement and management of international corruption. And just last month, they announced their working group approved the Phase 4 review of the United States. Very long run-up, sorry. And so first I wondered if you saw that.
Yeah, no, I did. And, one of the things that we as AML professionals, we know intuitively, but we don't always focus on is the elements of corruption that are covered by the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act, which, as we both know, have been around since the late 70s. And I know there's been some issues back and forth over the past number of decades that maybe it wasn't getting enforced as much, and maybe there needs to be a re-emphasis. But this clearly shows that there's been a continuing emphasis by the U.S. on foreign bribery and the utilization of the FCPA. So I think that's it's an important adjacency to money laundering, because obviously part of the reason why you move illegal funds is to commit corrupt activities.
Right, and actually in the early part of the report, the writers of the report do note that money laundering and other financial crimes are often a predicate to the actual corrupt violation of the corruption statutes. So what they did here is they came up with a series of recommendations, which is standard, and as they've done with the prior reports. And do you want to take us through kind of at a high level what those recommendations are?
Yeah, so sure. The recommendations were to develop ways to enhance protection for whistleblowers, those that report anti-bribery violations. And I think that's really important, because we've seen a lot of reporting on whistleblowing activities, certainly in the past couple of years here in the U.S. and abroad, and they do need that protection so that they're free to report on potential illegal acts, and then to further evaluate guidance about it, so to better explain to companies and entities what their requirements are under the FCPA. That becomes pretty important. It's certainly beyond banks. And then in terms of transparency, to make available, to make public completion of non-prosecution agreements and deferred prosecution agreements in foreign bribery matters. That's really important. And then to look at corporate enforcement policies that encourage self-disclosure and make sure that that's both understandable and readily attainable. And then to address recidivism through sanctions and raise awareness. And recidivism is something that we deal with in the AML space all the time, right? If an examination criticizes an institution and then finds a subsequent violation of the same activity, you're going to get hit pretty hard. So using that same theme here, that certainly makes a lot of sense.
Yes, I agree. As I understand OECD's methodology for this kind of stuff, 2 years from now, the U.S. will be required to issue a report to the OECD working group about their progress on implementation of the recommendations. And then they'll, in the future, and I don't know exactly when this will be, there'll be another visit, on-site visit, to see how we're doing. And of course, through time, OECD has continued to update and revise their convention or guidance on this kind of corruption.
Right. So, and this is available on their website. Take a look at that when you get a chance. It's the U.S.'s Phase 4 report.
Yeah. All right, John. Be well this week.
Take care and have a great Thanksgiving. Talk to you soon.
Yep. Bye-bye.